Hello?
Hello, dear.
Hello? Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you know Mr. Anderson?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
You do? Well, you don't? Well, I didn't either. Until a few days ago. He was in my dream. And he said to me, Alba, I have lived in Denmark, he said. And I wrote down your story. My story I wrote down 180 years ago exactly. And he said, Alba, this is about your life. And because you're such a chatterbox, I wonder how he knew, he said, you will be much better at telling your own story than I have written it down on paper. So, can I sit with you here on this bench? Would you mind hearing my story?
No, I'd love to hear it.
My little backpack too, here. So, I live in Northfield with my mom and dad in a little shabby council flat. And we are so poor that in the winters they send me out every day to sell sparklers and matches in the streets. And I wear my mum's old dresses and aprons and my dad's old worn-out slippers. They say that they cannot afford clothes for me apart from my school uniform because that is important. So Mum actually says she's quite surprised that no one has done us yet for child labour or child neglect or anything else people do nowadays for, you know. And Dad told me that's only because no one cares anymore. We're going back to the Middle Ages. That's why no one cares about the poor children. Okay, don't know what that means, but it sounds a bit scary. So anyways, I was in Portobello, you know, where the High Street meets Bath Street and there's Greggs and the charity shop and... Anyway, I tried to sell my stuff there, but I felt I was invisible. Everybody walked past with their shopping bags and chattering But of course, then there were the few brats from my school and they recognized me and they teased me about my poverty and I was so frightened of them that I started to run. And one of the slippers, of course, what you expect, fell off my foot. And one of them brats, he rode over it with his bicycle, and so it tore. And I was so upset and scared, so I hid in the public toilets. And then I just went out to the Butternut Squash Cafe, where the people were having their Christmas dinners and singing and laughing. I could smell the food and I was hungry and sad. And so I just thought, why not light one of my sparklers? They are so pretty. So I did. And what happened was amazing. It was like I was in space, all by myself, with a fireplace so big, wider than my arms could stretch. And it was warm. And the flames, they danced and they giggled. And they warmed me all the way to my bones. And they dried my hair and my dress, and it was gorgeous. But as quickly as it appeared, it was gone. And there I found myself again sitting in the cold street with the rain and the wind, and with the dead sparkler and the burned out match between my fingers. Of course, I went home that evening. What else could I have done? I had nowhere else to go. And Mum and Dad, they were actually really kind. Mum gave me this new dress here. She's never worn it before. Probably she thought it would make me proud and it would make me show off in the streets, not just think of my matches and sparklers. And Dad, guess what he gave me? Here, into my little water bottle, he put a little bit of whiskey. But he said, only after your sandwich, and only if you are really, really cold, and only if there is no policeman around, of course. And he gave me some rags and string to tie around my feet so I wouldn't be cold. But I'm not good yet at tying strings. I'm almost 10, but I still can't do it, I know. So I lost the rags and the strings in the street, which is why I'm barefoot today. But anyways, so yesterday, You know the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle pub in your place? Quite nice there. I walked there to try my luck. And the people, they went in and out and enjoying themselves, and they came out and they were rubbing their bellies, complaining they've eaten too much while I was hungry. And I sat there and I thought, so what? I'm going to light my second sparkler. Whoosh, there it was. And I tell you what happened this time. In front of me, there was a banquet so big. I don't think I saw the food from the pub. No, this was much nicer. There were parsnips and roasties and sprouts. I don't like them, but they were there. I could choose them if I wanted to. And there, on a silver platter, there was a goose. A roasted whole goose. Well, actually, no, the head was missing, but it sat there with a knife and fork sticking out of its back. And it knew I was there, so it jumped off the platter and jumped and waddled towards me like, eat me, Alba, eat me. Oh, goosey, I don't like knife and fork, but okay, I'll be a good girl. I stretched out my hand and tried to grab the cutlery, but as soon as I did so, what can you guess? It was gone. And so I sat again in the street, the pelting rain and the wind, with dead sparkler and a burnt not much between my fingers. And today, I went out a bit earlier, which is why I bumped into you. I went to Duddingston, you know the Sheep Heat? They say it's the oldest pub in Scotland, and I've heard that they used to boil the heads of the sheep so that the poor had something to eat. Yeah, that's the right place for me to go. So I stood there with my sparklers and matches, hoping that parents might want to buy a little joy for the children. But no, they didn't. They probably drank and ate and played skittles and didn't care about someone like me outside in the cold. So I thought, sod it, I'm gonna light my third sparkler. And here it was. But what happened today, it did bring me to my knees. There was a Christmas tree. No, not the plastic one that bores itself to death for 11 months a year in your attic, no. A real one, from the forest, with real wax candles and proper flames. And those flames that crackled, they were friendly little flames. But when I looked higher up the tree, the candles were bigger and the flames were bigger. And the higher I looked, the bigger the candles were, and the bigger the flames. And the higher, the bigger, and the bigger, the higher. And on the very top, a star? Was that the star? No. It was, I'm sure it was, Gateway to Heaven. And there she came, my grandma, beautiful, like she was young again. No scars from radiation therapy. Her back was straight. And she came and she sat me on her knees and she hugged and cradled and kissed me. And then I think she wanted to say something. But as soon as she opened her mouth, she was gone. And there I was again in the street, in the rain and the wind and alone? No. Something is different today. I remember. I can feel it again. That which I have known and loved and always trusted when I was very little. My eternal living flame, burning bright and wild and strong here within my heart. And it lives in you, in you, in you, and in you too. In everything and everyone. Our true home, sustenance and comforter. Come whatever may, all lives and breathes in him, and through him all was made. There. Can you see up there? There is a star. It's falling from the sky. It's coming right towards me. Is it you, Lord Jesus Christ? Are you coming for me? Is it my time? What about Mum and Dad? But it is your birthday, so I gift myself to you, O Lord. Come, let us light my sparklers together, all of them at once. What are they use now to me? No use anymore. I am coming home with you. And all you people, when you go for your walks after your Christmas dinners, walk slowly and mindfully, because it may well be, when you look on the paths ahead of you, when you think that there are branches and twiglets on your way, there could well be 10,000 burnt out sparklers and matches, and they will remind you of me and my story and of our eternal living flame.
Alva closes her eyes and rests in peace, no more in pain.